What up everyone, Edgar with All One Solar Shine. So in this video, we actually have someone that is gonna be joining me today. I definitely want to go over his setup. I want you guys to see what he's working with, because a lot of these videos I've been talking about what I use, I've been talking about, you know, how I do things, my process, my method. So I want you guys also to get a different perspective and see what Vicente does, how he cleans solar panels, how he does his whole method and process, and now you guys can see firsthand what he uses, because I know I preach a lot about what I use, but don't get me wrong, that's not the only way to do it. That's my way on how I do it, that's my opinion. You guys will definitely get to hear from Vicente on how he gets things done. So we have Vicente here from LV Solar Panel Cleaning Services. Tell us, where do you service?
Well, we service mostly in the Tracy area, Modesto. I also do service the Bay Area side, like Fremont, Pleasanton, Union City. We service pretty much from anywhere from the Bay to the Valley, any of those cities in between. So we try to work our way around.
Perfect. And what do you do? What do you stick around
so
with? So
the services that I try to stick more to is either gutter cleaning, solar panel cleaning, bird proofing, spikes. Those are the services that I normally do.
Okay, perfect. And for those of you that are looking, all right, so obviously we got my van in the back, but we don't have just a van in the back. We also got a Tesla next to us. So talk about your setup, Vicente. I mean, it's the first that I've seen of someone cleaning solar panels out of a Tesla. Does it work for you? How'd you make it work? Why did you decide to do a Tesla, not a truck, not a trailer? You know, what was your whole game plan, you know, with this?
Right, so the only reason, and people, you know, they kind of ragging me about, you know, why are you going to use your nice Tesla to do this type of field, right? So my answer is, this is my commuter. Not necessarily because it's a Tesla, but I mean, eventually, yeah, that's the reason, because I drive for free on this car. During the time that I bought the car, they were offering the free supercharging for life. And I said, hey, I'm going to take advantage of that, because I do commute quite a bit. I drive maybe 200 miles a day sometimes. So, you know, having this type of vehicle, you know, going green and everything, it does help out with the financials. So this was my commuter car that I was using. And fortunately, this vehicle, once we get to show a little bit of the inside of the vehicle, it has a lot of room on the inside where I get to fit my 26-foot ladder. I have another 14-foot ladder. I have my hoses. I have my DI tanks here, which is a 1-stage and 2-stage from the company On The Go. Real good people there if you call them. My brush that's also, you know, with an extension pole from Tucker. I have everything pretty much there. My bucket to do the gutter cleaning, pretty much anything that I need to do any of the services that I was talking about. It all fits in there, incredibly, yes, but it works. But that's the reason, just because Perfect. Financially, it was the vehicle that I had. I also have an SUV that I'm trying to see if maybe I can get a rig in there. I'd like to eventually work onto something like how Edgar has here, a nice van with all the room needed to do so, but for the meantime, this is you know, my go-get-to car.
Perfect. Okay, so this isn't something that's gonna be permanent. This isn't gonna be long-term.
No.
So how long have you been doing this?
So I started probably about this time, August last year, 2022.
Okay.
But I started only doing it as a gutter cleaning. I worked for another company here in San Jose that did the gutter filters, but I didn't stay there long because I realized that the amount of money that I was making working for someone else, I could have easily been making more working for myself. So
Right.
I decided to go ahead and venture out, and I started doing gutters. And then with the gutters, I said, hey, you know what? These people have panels. I might as well offer that. And I really wanted to get more into doing the panels. And be honest with you, gutter cleaning is a lot harder. But not to say that the bird proofing is not. It is very hard to do bird proofing. That's why it is so expensive.
Absolutely. That's why when you get those bird proofing right at the edge of the gutters, I
yes.
mean, those are the worst.
Absolutely.
So you're saying you've done this for about a year now. This is, you know, the car that you started off with,
right? Which
is perfect. So let's just quickly talk about your system and, you know, what you're working with. And I'm amazed of how you got it to fit in a Tesla. I mean, that's amazing. So what do you have right here? What are you working with right here?
Yeah, so this is a Tucker brush, 30-foot extension pole. And this is the 18-inch brush that is also meant for solar panel cleaning. So it's a solar panel cleaning brush that Tucker sells as well. And I got it from Tucker. And it comes with the red line is the one that you connect on over to this end, right? So you connect to the customer's hose, the spigot off of this end. It goes through the first stage, then it goes into the second stage to filter out the water. And then it comes out of here where I'll eventually connect the line to go and start, you know, feeding off of the brush up on the roof of the panel, on the panels eventually. So
absolutely,
that's the setup that I usually use. Other than, you know, obviously the ladders, you got to get up there somehow.
when you need to replace these DIs, do you do the exchange yourself? Do you just, is it as simple as taking out this tank and swapping the tank? How does that work?
So Edgar, just to be honest with you, I have not done the exchange yet.
Okay.
Just because of the workload that I haven't gotten up to obviously the workload you guys do. But definitely when I spoke to the owner of On The Go, which is the company that sells these particular tanks individually, it is not that hard to change them out. I order the resin that is needed for changing them out. It comes out, it gets delivered to my home. The gentleman has videos on how to go ahead and exchange the old resin to the new one.
Right, right.
So it's not that difficult of a thing, but you know, for the dollar value, you know, that I had last year during that time, you know, that was my only option that I had for myself. And like I said, I'd love to have those bigger tanks, which, you know, maybe it'll allow me to do a whole lot more than these two.
And this does, though, get you down to, you know, the
0 parts per million.
0 parts per million.
Yeah,
perfect,
yeah.
perfect.
As of now, since I probably do need to change it up, it'll probably do right now about 3 to 4 parts per million right now is what I've been testing.
Perfect.
So
for those of you that are watching and that maybe are getting lost, I definitely don't want anyone to get lost here. So remember, when you're dealing with DI water, you have what's called a TDS meter, okay? That TDS meter is, I have other videos, so hopefully you guys can, at the end of this video, we'll have a link to that one video so you guys can see it. When you get this TDS meter, you're gonna drop that TDS meter into a cup of water or into a bowl of water, or, you know, a cup preferably, and then you're gonna read on there a number, and that number is going to give you what the parts per million is, okay? So what the total dissolved solid, that's what the TDS stands for, is in the water. So if you have a 0, that means you have extremely pure water, no impurities, no minerals, okay? He was just mentioning he has about 3 to 5, so he does have some impurities, but let's keep in mind here, when you're dealing with solar panel cleaning, you can go up to about 25, maybe even pushing it to about 30 to 40, okay? I like to stick around 25 parts per million, so even though Vicente right now has about 3 to 5 parts per million, he can continue to use these until he's about 25, 30 parts per million. Then it's time to swap these out, because you don't know what the next day is gonna bring, and if you're at 25 today, tomorrow you might hit 40, 50, 60, and you don't want that. So it's really good to switch them out when you're at 25. That way you're ready for work the next day. This is an awesome setup. Just quickly, if you're comfortable, what does something like this run, this alone?
Sure, so the 2 tanks with the carry-on, it's around $1,000 to $1,200 for that. The Tucker pole and the brush combined could be anywhere between $1,200 to $1,500. Right. The pole comes with the line, so that's already comes included. This hose also comes with the setup with the 2 tanks, and it also comes with the little joint right here that goes from one stage to the other. And this I had to buy separately from On The Go as well.
So right here you're looking at around, let's just say, you know, 28 to 3,000 max.
Correct. Okay,
perfect. So it's definitely a much affordable option for those of you that are watching. I mean, my brush alone, my rotary brush alone is around $4 grand, just the brush. Okay, so you're getting this entire setup right here for less than what my rotary brush costs. And this is gonna be the #1 question, and I understand money, especially when starting out, sometimes can be an issue, especially, you know, because you're not doing this full time, are you?
No.
Okay, so if you're not doing this full time, you know, budget could be an issue, but I know Vicente has been able to see profit in this. So when you're working with a system like this, what does a house cleaning look like? Like, walk me through kind of setting this up, cleaning, in and out, roughly how long does that take? What does that look like for you?
Yeah, so
a standard 1-story house.
A 1-story. So on a 1-story asphalt shingle, depending on how many panels, like an average of 16 to 20 panels, I could be in and out in the shortest 45 minutes to an hour.
Nice.
Longest would be hour and a half. I don't think I've done 2 hours yet on a single story, but anywhere between 45 minutes to an hour and a half. It also depends on how clean those panels are.
Yep.
Because the dirtier they are, the more I'm gonna be pushing this brush. It is very hard. I would be sweating at the end of doing that one job. You don't wanna be up on the roof at, you know, say for instance, you got bird proofing, right? You got bird proofing, you're bird proofing your panels and stuff. By the end of the bird proofing, you want to clean them. Well, by that time, after the bird proofing, if it's just myself, like,
you're already exhausted.
So in my business, I'm the only one. I'm the sole owner, proprietor of the company. So I don't have any employees. So I have to make sure that I get the job done all by myself. With the temperatures that we've had hitting 100 plus in the Tracy area, you know, it might take 8 hours. I'll be up there on the roof for 8 hours, depending on how big that solar array is going to be. And then after that, I'm gonna start pushing the brush depending on how big that solar array is gonna be. So it depends on how dirty they are. Like I did a client the other day, a returning client, my first solar panel cleaning returning client.
Nice, congrats.
I did that last week and it took me 45 minutes.
Because
for this brush.
Because they were also cleaner, because it's your second time.
Exactly, it was the second time, you know, so they were cleaner. Like you've mentioned before on a couple of your videos, you use the T1000 for your returning clients versus the Racenstein brush for probably panels that have been, you know, really dirty and they haven't been cleaned in quite a while. So
perfect. And then next question, have you come to a point or like a day when you've had a full day of cleanings?
There's been more of where I have a full day. It would be more like I have bird proofing, gutters, and cleaning. Okay. I've gone like a full 12-hour days.
Got it.
I had a bird proofing that I had to do. Big array, 2-story home, lots of gutters, lots of stuff inside the gutters. Bird proofing, spikes, and the cleaning. 2 days, 12 hours each day. Got it done. Nice. But really tired after that. I mean, but it was a bigger house, a bigger array. But full days of only the panels, and I haven't had full days. I've had maybe like 2, 3. If
you had a full day of only panels, literally only panels, a mix between 1-story, 2-story, how many houses do you think you could do with what you have right here? Comfortable.
Travel considering, so probably 3. Max 4. I mean, if I had the full day and I wasn't at work, my regular job, so probably I'd say 4. You know, a good size, you know, regular size home, 4 of them with the travel and everything.
So for those of you who are watching, I'm trying to give everyone a good understanding of just what we're working with here. So if we're doing about 4 houses in one day, and I'm gonna say with my pricing, an average of house is gonna be around $225 for pricing, right? Maybe $250. So just 4 of that, that's $1,000 in one day, okay? On a system that costed you initial cost, we said $3,000
at the most.
So, you know, if you're doing one day $1,000 on a system that, you know, startup cost was $3,000, I mean, you're gonna be making your money back. You're gonna be profiting, you know, maybe not the next day after you buy this, but you'll be profiting giving it after some time. Because aside from this, like Vicente mentioned, he also does gutter cleaning, so he needs his gutter cleaning equipment. He also needs his ladders. He also needs his cones. You mind handing me a sign? He also has these signs, all right? So I've also talked about in other videos as well, as you have to have signs, whether it's a van to be your sign, whether it's this sign, it could also be even, you know, in this case, your Tesla can be your billboard, right? You have to always make sure that when you're up on the roof cleaning, people need to see what you're doing. People need to see who you are. People need to see, you know, how can they get a hold of you? I mean, I myself, now that I've been in this, I notice panels like everywhere. Like it's something that you just now notice,
No,
right?
definitely.
So, but have you ever noticed or seen someone else cleaning panels?
I have not.
Exactly. So it's still very new. So just imagine as we're driving, if you do see someone on the roof scrubbing panels, it's that immediate curiosity of like, what is that guy doing? And if you have a sign there, if you have a van there, if you have a car that has that description or has that information, that's the immediate attention for that client to write down your number, to call you, to take a picture of it. I've had numerous times someone call me 2 or 3 days later saying, hey, I was driving by the house, I couldn't stop because I was on my way to pick up my kids or I was on my way to work. I took a picture of your van and boom, now I'm interested and I want to get some more information. All right, Vicente, so I have a question for you. So you said you've been in this for about a year now.
Right.
Okay, you do this either after work or on the weekends, that's correct?
Correct.
Perfect. Now, how are you struggling or how are you handling the advertising, the marketing? Like what's working for you, what's not? How do you stay motivated? I mean, that's probably the biggest question I want to know.
Right, so I've noticed, you know, throughout some of these months that I've been doing this now, that the best way of getting clients, it's either doing door knocking or customer referrals. Biggest thing. Because I can put as many ads, not to say that it's not gonna work, right? Facebook ads and all these other ads that you can go online, that it's not gonna work. But if you can have somebody that is testimony that you did a great job in their house and their panels, their gutters, you know, and they were satisfied and they can blow that up on good news on the media, social media, then that is gonna be a great catalyst for you to be able to get more clients. Example, I had a client that I went to go do his house, really excited, very happy about the increase of productivity that they were having on their panels. And I said, hey, you know what? The best thing you can do is just to, you know, let your friends and family know, or better yet, put us on your social media. an honest review of how your experience was with our services, and just to let everybody know, right? So what he did is he went on there, he went on my Facebook page, which you can look us up on LV Solar Panel Cleaning Services on Facebook. And what happened was that he put us there, and then he also went on to Tracy Rants and Raves, which is, I guess, another social media for the city of Tracy. Within, I kid you not, within like 2-3 hours, I had 2 clients call me that they wanted to schedule something because they heard good information and a good review from this client that I worked on. As well, I want to also let other solar panel cleaners know that don't get discouraged if you go door knocking for 4 hours in the sun and you come back and you get no leads, right? You get nobody interested. Well, don't be discouraged, because I've had situations too where I go door knocking, I don't get anybody hitting me up for a scheduled cleaning. But 2 months later, 3 months later, they'll be calling me up and saying, hey, you know what, I remember you came by the house and I still had your flyer, I still had your card, and I was interested in this and this and that. And we'll schedule something out. I mean, I just had a client call me up 2 days ago that they wanted a cleaning because they still had my flyer. And this was like 4 or 5 months ago. So it all pays off eventually. You know, you'll start seeing the fruits of your own labor happening sooner or later. But just try to keep motivated with positivity every time you're out there. Keep working at it. One of the potential clients that you're going to is not working out. Hey, you know what? Start off fresh on the next door.
Yep. Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, yeah, door knocking isn't the funnest, but it's definitely the most rewarding, because I mean, it's like you just said, it's the fruits of your own labors. You know, when you're out there boots on the ground, pushing and working hard, door after door, I mean, you may not get a lead that same day, but it's definitely gonna come. All right, the hard work pays off.
How do you schedule the jobs you have?
Right.
Weekends, after work, and is there a deal breaker when you can't service a customer right away?
Yes, well, I had the luck that I haven't had that issue come up yet, that they said I needed to be done ASAP, like today, this morning or whatever, because sometimes they'll get calls and I'll be at work and, I'll start asking, what's your address? How many panels you have? Is it a 1 or 2 stories, and so on? And I try to schedule them out. I say, I don't usually give them a chance to go ahead and tell me what date they're asking for. I usually let them know, hey, you know what? We can sure take care of your home. How does this date sound to you, right? And if you go about it that way, it'll be more likely that you'll get the schedule that works for you versus the schedule that works for the client. But I've had situations where I had to do a bird proofing and the client wanted it a particular day that was, interfering with the time that I'm actually at work in my daytime job. So I put in my request for my vacation for those 2 days, and it paid off because, it was a $3,000 job. I have vacation days saved up, so I had to use that for that one particular time.
That's right. So sometimes you got to do what you got to do, and I really like what Vicente said to piggyback off of that is it's our schedule, right? So if you guys can let the people know that, hey, we have this day that's open, and that's why I've also told many clients and many people that you don't have to be home, all right? We park in front of your house, we set up the ladder, we do everything from the roof, we're in, we're out, I'll invoice you, done. You always want to let the homeowner know this day is available, this time is available, and that way they can pick and choose which day or which time. But if you're gonna be working around their schedule, I mean, it's only gonna be a big headache, especially if you're going from city to city, because if I know I'm gonna be in Gilroy tomorrow morning and someone calls me in Hollister and he says, I need it done tomorrow morning, well, I'm sorry, I'm in Gilroy, right? If he can make it work for afternoon, then I will be there in the afternoon. But that's how I know what my schedule looks like. Appreciate all of you guys that have stuck around and have watched to the end. I appreciate Vicente for coming around, showing his setup, and I want all of you guys to know that, there is more than one way to skin a cat, okay? But we are using deionized water, okay? That's the most important thing. Nor Vicente nor I have left that out. We are using deionized water, and I've spoke about that in many videos. We're not just spraying regular hard water on your panels. We're not cleaning with hard water. We're not squeegeeing. We're not doing any chemicals or soaps. It's strictly hard water. The only difference is his is a little smaller, so he may have to switch his tanks out a little bit more than I do. And obviously his brush is that water-fed pole, so he's using that manual labor compared to what I use, which is the rotary brush. So again, for those of you that are watching, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. If you want to see any other videos, drop them in the comments. And as always, if you have any questions and you need guidance and need help, just like Vicente did, the way I met Vicente is he reached out to me and said, hey, I'm starting this. I want to go ride with you. I want to go and learn how you bird proof. I want to go and see how you clean solar panels. And that was what, like in March maybe?
Probably.
So it was, earlier this year, and that's how I met Vicente. He reached out to me. So for those of you also that are watching, in the description section below, there's a link. Hit that link, schedule a call with me. You'll get a consultation. We'll talk about all the questions you have, whether you're in California, you know, half an hour away like Vicente is, or if you're in Southern California or in a different state, give me a call and we'll talk about it, all right? I may not have specific answers to your specific state or region, but I can definitely give you the overall guidance and help you and really show you what you have to work with. So again, Vicente, let the people know, for those of you that are watching, what areas do you service, what do you do, and just how can they get a hold of you?
Company is LV Solar Panel Cleaning Services. We serve the region of Tracy, Manteca, Modesto, Pleasanton, all the way down to Fremont, Hayward, Union City areas, Bay Area and Valley. You can reach us at 209-990-9242. Schedule something out with us. We'll do a great job. We'll treat your home like if it was ours. But I just want to thank Edgar for inviting me over. Reyes, thank you so much for having us be able to do this short interview. I want to say thank you, Edgar, for all your help and your teachings. I definitely used them while I was up on the roof. And I said, you know, I thank God that Edgar was showing me all these things that I've learned throughout these days that I've been able to interact with him and learn so much. Thank you for having me out here and being able to put a little spill on my business as well. And any of those that also like reach out to me in something small, if Edgar's busy or something and I can assist you in the very little knowledge that I have, definitely reach out to me at that number as well.
Perfect, yeah, so when you guys see Vicente drive up, it's not the Batmobile, all right? It's LV Solar Panel Cleaning Services. All right, so again, you know where he's located, you know where I'm located, Santa Clara County and Sacramento County. So if you guys are in all these areas, I mean, I definitely want to make sure that I'm able to bridge these gaps. I want to bring other cleaners to your areas and let you guys know also about these cleaners. That way we can all be serviced. There's so many houses that need help. You know, I want to make sure that we can all cover and help each other out. So stay tuned to the next video, but as always, appreciate you guys watching. Have a good one. Peace.